Hello everybody and welcome back to the Toon Review YouTube channel for your latest Newcastle United news. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for tuning in. As usual, if you do enjoy today's video, guys, please do hit the thumbs up. It's very important to the channel that we keep those coming in. And of course, if you're new and you like what you see, please do subscribe. It is free to do so, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload or one of our live shows, which are practically every day of the week. Now, quite a bit to go through today. We'll start off with Kieran Trippier. Now, obviously, there's been lots of rumours going around about Trips and whether he's going to stay in January. Is Eddie Howe going to keep him around for the rest of the season for that kind of experience, etc. Fact is, he didn't come on the pitch on Saturday against Palace, and I thought that was absolutely crazy. When we're trying to hold on to a 1-0 lead, he leaves Trippier and he leaves Kelly on the bench. Now, I'm not sure what this says to Kieran Trippier or whether it's a message that he's not really going to be involved very much, and they are looking to sell in January. Now, Trippier is currently on 120 grand a week wages, so looking through the reports this morning, it does state that the main reason that they would look to move Trippier on is to free up some wages. Now, that could be for somebody that I'll talk about later on in the video, but the wages themselves obviously would be a huge amount to come off the books and would enable us to maybe go and get another player. Trippier himself, for me, hasn't really looked himself for quite a while now. He's been in and out of the side. He's been injured. He does offer you that leadership, that experience, which I personally think we needed desperately on the pitch on Saturday. We didn't get it. So for whatever reason, Eddie Howe did not want to include Kieran Trippier, which I found astounding. Let me know in the comments below, by the way, about that. Do you think we should have brought him or Kelly on to shore up that back line and hang on to that 1-0 lead? Because I certainly do. But it looks, by all accounts, as if he's on his way. Livramento, of course, has made that position his own. He's been called up into the England squad. He's doing fantastically well at the minute. And I think, it's very difficult for Eddie Howe probably to leave Livramento out now. Yes, he's got his flaws, but he's still very young. And those flaws can be improved upon as his experience gains and gains. It looks like Fenerbahce and AC Milan are the two teams that are the front runners to sign Trippier. Now, he did state a couple of months ago, I don't know if you can remember, in an interview, that he did say that he would probably like to go abroad again. Obviously, it's going to be the last move of his career, isn't it? He's, 33, 34 now, so he wants to go and try abroad again. Serie A would probably be a good league for him. Jose Mourinho is apparently interested in him at Fenerbahce. So when this window opens in January, I do expect a couple of Newcastle players to leave. Of course, Miggy Almiron is one of them that's mentioned as well. That will free up wages, including obviously a price tag for Almiron. I'm not sure we'll get much for Trippier himself, given I think we paid 12 million for him. I don't think he holds very high value at the minute, but we'll get something, and that's the main thing. Obviously, for PSL, we'll get something, and we need something. Now, moving on from that, the reason I'm saying about the freeing up the wages is because this morning we've been linked with Mudryk at Chelsea. Now, this would only be a loan deal. That's certainly the 3 or 4 reports I've read about this move this morning have all stated a loan move because Chelsea want to keep him. However, we know that loan moves can turn into permanent deals if it's a successful loan and the team that he's moved to want him. Now, Mudryk, he moved to Chelsea in 2023 for £62 million. And it hasn't really happened for him. He's been in and out of the side. He can't really hold down a starting place. But his former manager, Mauricio Pochettino, has come out and said that he is a wonderful talent, a real talent, and given the right fit, the right side, his correct position, etc., this guy could be a fantastic signing for somebody. And he did mention Newcastle United, and I think he knows that Newcastle United are probably looking for somebody on the right. Mudryk can play either side, so that would appeal to Eddie Howe. I'm not sure if his work rate is up there defensively. We'd have to take a look at him in a transfer show, of course, but now he's been linked, we probably will. Palace and Barcelona are interested in him as well. Now, Palace, for me, obviously they're a London side, so if he doesn't want to leave London, he has the option of Crystal Palace. We've seen that happen many, many times before. Barcelona would be a big pull for him. But we are after, we are going to get linked with so many wingers because of the situation we're in at the moment at Newcastle United. So again, I don't know how true this is. I don't know if we're actually a firm interest in Mudryk. But he's a decent player. From what I've seen, he's a decent player. But it just he hasn't hit the ground running at Chelsea. So I think he needs to improve his game, or does he just need a run in the side? I don't know. But again, it's another winger. There's going to be another 3 or 4 down the line. Personally speaking, I would rather we still went with Mbeumo or Semenyo at Bournemouth. I know the fans won't like me talking about them, but those are the 2 types of players that I would love to see at Newcastle. Again, I'm not saying anything's happening with those 2 guys either. January's going to be... Every day is going to be interesting in January, because we've got to change things around. We've got to improve left, right and centre for me. So there's a lot of ins and outs probably going to happen. I know Eddie's played it down many, many times, but we have to. We have no choice. We cannot go on like this. It's a simple fact. You look at the Newcastle United right-hand side, you think, Jesus, something's got to happen. We've got to play players back in the proper positions to get the best out of them. And bringing in a right winger, right-sided forward, will move Gordon back to the left where he is comfortable on, and hopefully we start getting the best out of him. So Mudryk is another one that has been linked this morning. Alan Shearer has spoken out saying he's exceptionally worried about the lack of goals in the Newcastle United side. Now, to be honest, I don't blame him for thinking that. We've scored so many goals last season. It's been rather poor, to say the least, this season. 2 shots on target in 2 games. None against Palace, of course, with only just the 1 shot. Now, asked if he was confirmed, Shearer said, yeah, I am. They've scored 14 goals in 13 games, and 3 of those were away to Nottingham Forest. Last year, or maybe the year before, so many times we spoke about Newcastle, their energy, the pressing, how they went after you, and I don't see a lot of that. It's pretty worrying, particularly in the final third. Isak went off injured. He, as in Eddie Howe, chose not to put Wilson on at that time and put him on with 15 minutes to go. Other players have to start scoring goals. Gordon has to score. Barnes has to score. Joe Linton, Willock. I think the Isak has 4 or 5 goals this season, so I hope he's not too badly injured and he can play on Wednesday against Liverpool. And finally went on to say it's definitely concerning. Absolutely. And like Aston Villa, Newcastle are in the bottom half, 11th and 12th in the league. Not great from Newcastle. They have to improve. Now, again, what I want to state there is, we as, YouTube channels, we've come in for some criticism, saying that, we're very negative and we're, people calling me out for my reaction video, etc. This is what I'm talking about. Even a player or an ex-player like Alan Shearer, a legend at the club, is worried about the things that are going on at the minute. So we as fans, and Alan's certainly one of them as well, we're concerned. And if you're not concerned, that's fine. You don't have to be concerned about the way the club is. However, a lot of fans are. And they're either turning the attention to the manager or they're turning it to the players. Personally speaking, I think it's a bit of both. I think the players need to step up. The players that play in that final third of the field for Newcastle United all need to step up because it hasn't been good enough. The creativity is rotten to the core right now. We can't create jack. So he's right. It is very concerning, the lack of goals. And I think our player ratings last night on the review show just highlighted that in a way, because it highlighted that the defenders did okay, but the midfielders and forwards got lower marks because there was nothing there. Apart from Tonali, who obviously played that deeper role and played very well. So it is a very worrying time for Newcastle, and I'd love it. I'd absolutely adore them to put it right on Wednesday against Liverpool. I mean, there's no better team to go against and try and get a result. But we've got to be better. Now, Anthony Gordon has also spoken out ahead of the Liverpool game, and he's basically put it into exactly what I've said there. He said, we've got to put them under pressure and maintain the performance. And I think this is a good thing that the players know that they aren't performing for the full 90 minutes. They're switching off. Gordon mentioned it, that throughout the season, they've given away silly goals and haven't held on to leads or had to score very late in the game to win because they haven't been added for the full 90 minutes. And when you play somebody like Liverpool, you have to be on your very, very best. Absolute top for the whole 90 minutes. You cannot switch off against Liverpool. Because if you remember last season, we went down to 10 men against Liverpool and they beat us. Núñez scoring 2 cracking goals, and it was a disappointing day. But that's exactly what I think Anthony Gordon's getting at there about staying alert for the full 90 minutes. He says, against these teams, you have to keep going right until the end, which, you kind of probably might listen to that and think, well, yes, that's what you should be doing as a professional footballer. You should be doing that right till the end. But we haven't. But the problem I've got is players, we've had this in times gone by where players have come out and said things in the press about how we need to be better and how we need to do this and that. But the problem is when they get over that white line onto the pitch, we don't see it. So what I'd like for, Newcastle players now is just to concentrate on the training, not come out in the press, just get on with the job and then go at Liverpool on Wednesday. Have a real good go. Don't tell us what you're going to do in the in the papers and online. Go and do it on the pitch. That's where we as fans really want to see everything that Anthony Gordon has just said. Go and do it on the pitch. Prove to us that you want to do it on the pitch and not just words in a media outlet. And I'm not having a go at him here. All I'm saying is, from me as a fan's point of view, I want to see Gordon turn those words into actions on Wednesday, and maybe just none of them come out in the press about what they need to do. Go and do it. Go and whatever training we're doing before the game this week, just go and do it. Work hard in training, go on the pitch, and really give Liverpool a real run for the money. Even if we lose the game, as long as the Newcastle United players come off knowing that they've done all they can and really, really give it a go, we can't complain. We have to see better performances from various players at the front end of the team. So I'm glad that he said the stuff about being under pressure and we have to maintain the performance and that we have to, keep up the intensity. But I'd rather see it on the pitch than in a media outlet. But it's good that they know. It's good that they've got it in their heads that things aren't right now. Now, finally, Wor Flags. They were supposed to do what was believed to be a big tribute to former manager Kevin Keegan, of course, with 2 of his former sides being in action on Wednesday. Pete Graves from Sky has confirmed that Kevin Keegan will not be in attendance for the game. So Wor Flags, what they're going to be doing is they've decided to change the display. It won't be a Kevin Keegan tribute anymore. What they've said, they haven't said what the tribute is going to be or what the display is going to be this time around. What they have said is they want to do something different to generate a massive atmosphere under the lights at St James's Park. Now, I think this is brilliant because we know what the atmosphere can be like under the lights in the dark at St James's Park. There's no better place to be for me. It's just an incredible atmosphere. The fans get right behind it. We as fans have to play a part, of course, and Anthony Gordon's talking about playing for the full game. The fans need to be there for the full game as well. There's times at St James's Park it can go quiet, but I think Wor Flags have decided, right, let's put on something really special on Wednesday night. The Amazon cameras are going to be there, of course. All the games are on Prime this time. It's going to be a fabulous atmosphere, and hopefully that will kickstart the players into some real performances. So I don't mind them changing their mind on that. And of course, they have stated that the Kevin Keegan tribute will come later in the season. They haven't written it off completely. They've said that it will happen at a later date. So fantastic from Wor Flags yet again. Absolute brilliant decision because they see the team struggling a little bit. So why not try and put something amazing on just to generate that atmosphere and really get the players going on Wednesday night. So I'm all for it. So well done to them again. But as usual, leave a comment below about what you've heard on this video. What's the situation with Trippier? Do you think we should let him go? Mudryk, would you have him? Is Shearer right about his comments about he's worried about the goals and everything else? put the comments below. Like I say, I read them all. I can't reply to them all because there's thousands come through, but like I say, I do read them all to gauge where you guys are at from what I've just read out in the news. I do reply to a few, or as many as I can. But thank you much for watching, guys. As usual, if you have enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button, and of course, please do subscribe if you're new to the channel and you like what you see. And a massive thank you to our sponsors, Mamaroo Records, based in Whitley Bay. If you're ever around the area, pop in and see Steve. They're right in the town centre. They've got some fantastic stuff in there: vinyl records, music merchandise, sporting goods, sporting merchandise, gift cards. They do it all, guys. If you can't get in, click the link at the top of the description there. They've got a website where everything is available on there as well. Mention to Steve that you're a TTR viewer, and I'm sure he will do you a cracking deal on whatever you're looking for in there. So big thanks to Mamaroo Records again. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our sister channel, TTR Xtra, the home of football. Everything football away from Newcastle United is going to be on that channel. The link is at the top of the description as well. We had a very, very good watch along yesterday between Liverpool and Manchester City. So a lot more coming up on that channel as well. That's it, guys. Now, the FA Cup draw is tonight, so we may cover that live. Keep your notifications on. I'll have a word with some of the guys and see if we put a live show on for the FA Cup draw. Of course, it's a third round. And we'll see who Newcastle United get drawn against. And then tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we've got the match preview for the Liverpool game. The Wor Flags show is on tomorrow at 8 o'clock, so a double header shows for you. And then Wednesday, of course, match day live again. So loads coming up on the channel. Absolutely jam-packed now as the games come thick and fast for Newcastle United. But thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, folks, and we will see you soon.